Well, I think it runs the risk of looking like all things to all people. For me, it's an attempt to articulate a real revolution in the relationship between public sector services and the people who need them. For me, it's about how we look at a different relationship where instead of the state provides and people consume, it's much more about co-production and co-design, still trying to get the same sorts of outcomes, but using really different methods to get there. And actually trusting people more and getting back to a state whereby the balance of rights and responsibilities changes round, back in favour of the citizen in a way that maybe over the last 10, 15 years it's shifted in the wrong direction sometimes. I'm working with a number of different public sector organisations, obviously looking to reduce costs because tackling the current deficit is the number one priority wherever you turn, wherever you look. But rather than fall into the trap of the standard, let's slash and burn, just remove things, reduce things, I think it's important the public sector works with its communities to rethink and reinvent services. So we're still getting the kinds of benefits and the kinds of outcomes and the kinds of improvements, but we're doing it not only at reduced costs, but in ways that actually connect more strongly to people's own lives, people's own communities. Well, I don't mean government in the sense of big government with a capital G, but if you think about the 40% of GDP that goes on public sector services, all the way from the BBC to the SAS, an awful lot of those bits of government directly interact with people's lives at an individual level through things like health and social care, and a community level around antisocial behaviour and drugs and alcohol. So government's kind of everywhere, and this is a fundamental rethinking of that relationship if it works at its best. It runs a risk of being a smokescreen for cuts and reductions, but I think there are enough people who understand the big society agenda well enough to make sure that's not how this turns out.